Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. Remember this guy? This is the lost and found Mini 4 Pro that was out in the wilderness from that range test for close to 2 years. I was going to send it in, but guess what? I just decided it might be cooler just to repair the broken arm myself. And I also noticed that the other arm was also kind of wanky here, so I'm just going to replace this joint too, and then we'll go ahead and get outside in this same video and see if it flies, see if the motors still work, and pretty much test out all the functions and see if all the sensors and everything work. Let's get started with the self-repair of the lost Mini 4 Pro. This is really good to know because it looked fairly easy to just replace these arm joints. I got 2 of them from Amazon for 13 bucks. And they're supposed to be the OEM arm joints. They're basically just kind of a hinge joint. And all this really does is it just locks the arm. The arm's going to go over this part to the actual drone. I got my cool little secure screwdriver here. I've been itching to use this thing. It's supposed to be pretty cool. It's like an electronic screwdriver. You get all these bits here, the fine bits you need for hobbies like this. Cool thing about this one is not only is it electronic, but it's actually electronic motion controlled. It's like twist activated when you hold a button. So I thought that'd be kind of cool to try this out on this project. We're finding the right star bit for 2 star screws on each arm, and that's what we're going to start off with. Let's try it. So here's our guy. You just kind of press this button and go like that. There you go. Release the other side. Okay, let's see if we can get these screws out. And I don't want to lose these screws because I don't have any more of them, so we want to really keep track of these screws. And let's take that out because that's the part that broke, just this plastic end right here. There we go. These screws are different, so you definitely want to keep these separated and do not lose them. They're definitely not magnetic, so they're almost like a magnesium type of screw or aluminum. So 3 screws on the drone side, and this little plastic piece just kind of falls out. Here we can see the broken part, and this is the new part. Okay, well, I needed tweezers, and guess what I found? I found this little tweezer and pick kit I got from like a soldering iron kit a long time ago. So we're gonna see if this kind of helps us take out this little arm thing. A little bit harder than I thought it would be, but it's coming. There we go, guys. So broken piece. 2 front should be exactly the same, so I don't think I need to. There wasn't like a left and a right. You see how it has a little concave on the left side? That's what we want to point to the back. So I think we're going to definitely want to put the drone side on first. Excuse the wire pulling, but looks like you might have to do that a little bit. So that thing's going to go just on just like that. And remember, we're using these little flat washer big screws. And then just start it. There we go. Right there, and number 3 right here. Each one of them with just a little more tension just to make sure they're not going to work themselves out. Okay, guys, we have the drone side triangle on. It's got that little concave for the wires there. Get our arm in the correct position, which is just like this, and push it in. Now I need to be careful here because there is this little notch thing. And so we want to slide in and then go into that notch. There we go. So it looks like everything is fitting perfectly. Already feeling the correct spring rate on there now. Awesome. Probably a good time too to make sure that those wires in there aren't twirled around. And they felt pretty good, so I think they're going to be okay. I'm just going to start these, just very lightly at first, just to make sure they're not like cross-threaded or anything. Bottom of that one is tight. And now the top of this one. There we go. Let's check it, guys. New joint. Perfect. So let's fold in the back and then test this out. So that's the new joint. Works perfectly. And I ordered the 2 because this one seemed a little bit, you see how it's kind of going far out there? It's already tweaked, almost ready to break. So we're going to take this one apart next and see what's going on with it. There's also a light on the screwdriver. That makes it easier. Might as well make use of this sunlight so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry, it's been a little dark there. All right, so 2 screws out of the other side. So with this arm, I can just kind of pull it because it's not broken yet all the way from the drone. Now, I don't want those screws to drop down in there, so I'm just going to kind of get them out first. There we go. See that little triangle mounting area? I'm not seeing any broken edges on that, so that should all be fine. And the arm does also look perfectly fine. So old one on the left and the new one on the right. So just on this arm, this part was bent, and I think that's just because of it falling down out of the tree. Very interesting that this metal decided to bend before this plastic plate on the bottom decided to break. Good call to replace this as well. So same thing like the other one. We're going to come in here and put it on the drone first. Otherwise, we won't be able to screw it on if we put it in the arm first. And guys, you know, once we get this thing flying in just a few minutes here, and if there is something broken and something wrong, I am just going to send it into DJI. I just wanted to try this first just to see if it would have a super cheap fix. And for all you guys that are wondering how to do this, you know, this is a really cheap fix. If just your arm is broken, it's not that hard. You just have to have a little bit of patience and the right tools, and you can do it. At least there is, you know, a little bit of leeway on this cable. So you do have, it seems like about 1 inch to kind of work with. Come on. There we go. It's like space shuttle docking in a micro scale, right? Putting the joint in. There we go. That's good to see. They actually have a tiny bit of blue Loctite. It just goes to show that at the factory, these things are well QC'd and the attention to the detail is there. That looks much better. You see how the 2 arms now have the same gaps, and you know there's going to be a little bit of play. That's normal. And then if we snap it out, boom, perfect. Nice and tight. And that's it to replace your arm joints. Longer and harder on camera because I'm trying to focus the camera in. But that honestly would take you about 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes each side just to get it right. And I'm really happy with that. And it seems to be working fine. I noticed there was a little bit of sap. So I'm just going to kind of clean this sap off. This is from it being in or under a tree for almost 2 years. Rubbing alcohol. And let's just see if it can clean that sap off. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want to really mess around with the balance of these types of propellers because they're so light. They still seem like they have a pretty good flex to them for being out there for so darn long. Stay tuned, guys. Let's head outside right now and put this thing up in the air and see if everything works on this. If we hear any weird noises, see if all the sensors and stuff work. Okay, guys, let's give the Lost Mini 4 Pro with the fixed arms a whirl for its first flight. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off these sensors just to give it, you know, a fair chance because they were all a little bit dirty. You know, I just want to get them fairly clean. Also, I'm going to test the video recording. So I'm going to pop in an SD card. There is our battery that was lost with it for almost 2 years. This thing charges fine. Everything works fine on it. So I don't know. I'm going to put it in here. You can see my number 1 mark. It's the same battery. So just powering up. I do have my controller muted. All the speakers, all the lights, and everything on this drone work perfectly, which is amazing. Just got that yellowish tinge on the top from sun damage. The camera sensors did look a little bit faded inside, probably because of the same kind of sun damage on the top. So let's do a takeoff from controller. We'll just do a click takeoff, click and hold. Wow, it sounds normal. You know, operating normal. We do have a little bit of a low in the sky sun right now. It's in the evening time. Focusing's working fine. Zooming, look at this. Everything's working perfectly. So take a look at that camera. Make sure there's no jello in it. We want to see any maybe gimbal glitches, any of that stuff. For a drone that's been lost for so long in all the weather, it's crazy. So let's start off with a little bit of bypassing. So I'm going to turn around and let's just fly. I can see the sensor reticles on the screen are working. You see the circles are red and orange. So they are detecting everything around them. Amazing. So let's fly kind of straight forward. I do have it in bypass. It's choosing to go to the right. Whoa. There's the gutter. Let's see if I'm just push straight on it. What's it gonna do? It's gonna go up. Okay, it chose to go up and over. Wow. The sun, I mean, it seems to be working okay. That was a little bit of a jittery start over the roof. Let's come back down here. Maybe the sun was affecting them, or they just have a little bit of sun damage, but it seemed almost like normal. So I'm gonna come at me with the drone facing its rear to me and just pulling back slowly, and let's see what it does. It's already choosing the bypass to the right. Let's go a little bit farther out. Pulling back, there we go. Now it has enough room. Calculating, bypassing over my head and just going over the roof. I had no stick input except straight back. Amazing. So bypass seems to be working great on the front and the back. Let's try this left side here. So I'm just pressing left, no input except left input here. And it's going right over my head. Let's see if it just keeps climbing. Yep, to go over the roof. So bypass working perfectly. Amazing. Come back down. We'll do a little fly around too, guys, instead of just at me when we finish this other side here, just to make sure it can bypass like through the woods and stuff. So I'm gonna come in at me here and we're gonna do another bypass. Let's see what it does. Okay, I'm gonna try to walk in front of it. Look at that. Choosing to go to my right, and it's just going around the pergola. Awesome. Look at that. So what that tells me is all of the sensors around the perimeter are working. Let's see if those top sensors are working. If I get right under this roof. Okay. And let's just push straight up. Look at that, the top sensors are working too. It just decided to go around the lip of that roof. Awesome, dude. So 360 avoidance and bypass working perfectly. Let's just try fly into this tree. Okay, I'm gonna get maybe 3/4 from the top and just fly straight into it. Let's see what it does. It's looking for a way around it, going to the right and up. Look at that. So it did that all on its own. So to me, bypass is just working perfectly. Awesome. So remember, guys, keep an eye on the camera. What else do we want to try here? Geez, let's try maybe an orbit. So let's go up and just maybe orbit a tree. This one here, let's see. Yeah, let's just orbit this roundabout tree. So we'll get it here and we'll just draw a box around it. Let's make sure everything's working. And we're going to do a POI. We're going to go fast to the right. Let me go up a little higher just in case it decides to hit the house, right? There we go. So it dropped its GPS point, and I'm just going to go fast and orbit. Seems to be working perfectly. Let's go up and back while it's orbiting. Of course, there's some sun shadow. That's maybe what that lens cap helps with, right? That seems like that would help that, but it doesn't have it on because it got lost. I'll have to get that back from Gary. So there's a fast orbit. Let's go the other way in medium. Wow, just working perfectly. Tell me if you see any weirdness in the camera. I don't. GPS all worked perfectly. That's where I launched from. Over there you can see the home point by my house. Stop. Fantastic, man. Let's see how our battery's doing. We got 82%. The battery seems to be going normally. So it's directly in front of me right here. I'm just going to fly out that way. Let's get the camera back up. And you guys really tell me if you see any maybe jelloing in the camera. Okay, full throttle in normal mode. Woo! Right past that tree. At least in normal it has its bypass on sensors. So look at this, guys. It's just like to me right now flying it, it's like a brand new drone. I don't notice anything. But let's just see how the signal is, at least. Not an extended range test, but just a really quick one. Maybe we'll go, gosh, I don't know, a couple thousand feet out. See how it does. Just looking at the controller screen, and okay, the trees are blocking it a little bit, so I'm going to go up a little higher. Let's see if those motors are all working. Full throttle up. Let's get around 100 feet. Working perfectly, man. Let's make sure the return to home's working. We'll hit 2,000 feet, let off, and just stop right here, hover. Let's do full extension of the gimbal. So gimbal all the way down. Okay, that's maximum down. Let's do a little tilt on our drone here. Get some cool little downward orbit. No problem. Gimbal all the way up. Let's see if we have any jitters or any problems. Not seeing any issues so far. This is great. All the way up to 60 degrees. Oh, look at that plane up there. Beautiful. Let's try and zoom into it. Oh. Can't really see it much anymore. It's going right overhead. All right, so let's do this. Let me see if I can recenter that gimbal. There we go. Remember the left. You can program your buttons. I have the left button to recenter. I'm going to press the return to home. Let's just do hardware, or actually let's just do software on the screen. And just holding home. Look at the top right of the screen, guys. We got 30 satellites. So the GPS wasn't damaged being out there in the snow and the rain for 2 seasons. Look how pretty that camera is. There is just nothing wrong with it that I can see on this screen. Unbelievable. And guys, we had like half of this season, at least a couple months, it was getting below freezing here. And for a couple days, it was below 0. So this is just incredible to me how resilient this thing has been. And just those arm problems that we just fixed. So, okay, return to home is working A-okay. Let's just bring her down here. I wanted to try a few other things, right? What else did I want to try? Let's adjust the EV a little bit, make sure all this is working. I'm going to just point it down. And let's do this EV slider. Yep, it's going to land right there. Sliding the EV, look at that, brightening, dimming. Camera is just perfect. It's detecting the roof there, slowing down. Man, it's working great. Canceling the return to home. Cancel that. What else do we want to try, guys? So, honestly, if I didn't want to send this back, I really wouldn't have to. I kind of want you guys to let me know if you'd like to see what DJI thinks if I do send it back. Because I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm going to stop recording here real quick. I'm going to switch to photos. And let's just take a couple of photos just to make sure everything's saving correctly. So there we go. Quick little photo. Oh, this is one I want to try. This has a portrait mode on it, right? Let's get a little closer so you can see that camera. So right here, I'm gonna walk up to it and I'm gonna hit the portrait mode. Man, look how clear that camera is. It just focused in on my face. So hitting the portrait mode, working perfectly, no problem. So, you know, with this drone, you can take raw portrait photos. And let's just take that. So if you want to use it for social media, let's go back. And yeah, the zooming, everything, focusing is just working perfectly. I want to try ActiveTrack real quick. Okay? Maybe there's some weird thing in the camera that got messed up from being in the wilderness for so long. And it can ActiveTrack. Let's just try it. So let's see. Let's draw a box around the person. And let's do ActiveTrack. So manual ActiveTrack. Yeah. All right, let's try it. So all it's going to do is film me and track me. I haven't started filming. Let me try that real quick. Video. Yeah, see, you see the glare and the prop glare? That's really why you need that lens cover. Starting the video again. Okay. So remember, this is 4K 30 video. And what are you gonna do? Yeah, it's sensing. Look at this. It's sensing while it's tracking. Doing great, man. Oh yeah, we can expand that tracking wheel. This tracking wheel is great on the left. Let's see if it can go through here and track me through this forest. See how all these sensors are really working, right? Nice and tight. Wow. Oh, geez, I just got it working and look at that. So that's the thing, guys. If you want a tracking drone in tight stuff like this, don't get a Mini 4 Pro, get the Flip. I would have said the Neo, but the Flip just has so much better of a camera and it's just about as durable. Boy, I really nailed that. Let's see if it still works. All right, we'll just boot it up right here. Launch it right here. Everything seems to be fine. Propellers are all good. I'm not seeing any issues with the propellers. Let's just take off. All right, let's track again. So I just hit that tree because it didn't see the tiny little branch over there. So let's go back into tracking, guys. Try that one more time. Okay. I know I'm being hard on it, but this is what I do. Let's see if it can follow me through here. Whoa, watch out for those branches, dude. So it's using the kind of the bypass. Yeah, it's working. It's thinking and using the bypass. So everything just seems fine on it. And that crash, that's normal for this drone. And there are other drones too. These types of camera drones, they're just going to do that in tight stick situations. I spent $13 to fix the arms and it's working like new. Amazing, guys. Let's bring it in here. If you guys want to see more what this drone can do, I've done many videos on it, so you can go back to my other ones and I did a full review on this in the park and everything, so you can check that out. But this was just to see if it actually flew, and fixing video and flying video. And honestly, guys, nothing is wrong with it. Nothing whatsoever except those two arms. Still able to bypass me. I like to do land catches. Just holding down on the stick. And then you just, whoop, just grab the bottom like that. We're not done yet, so hang around. We still have more to do in this video. This is gonna be a non-abused battery. This just has a couple of flights on it, your normal voltages and charging back up. So this is fully charged. And then after this flight, we're gonna use the battery that was in the forest for at below 0% for almost 2 years. And we're gonna see the differences. Let's do our control flight first. Nice. And we're just gonna hover there, guys. Again, just recording the screen for you. This is our, remember, our control battery, and then I'll pop in that abused battery that it was lost with, and we'll check that out. So probably put this part to some music so it's not too boring, and speed it up. There we go. So it went into critical low power, power off protection mode. And let's just check the batteries real quick. There you go. Wow. It just shut off. So it won't even let me check the batteries because it just powered off. We'll check the flight log and I'll have the exact time pop up that it was actually in the air. I'm gonna pop in the battery that was abused and lost with it, and we're gonna see if we get the same amount of flight time. Okay guys, here goes the abused lost battery. So you can see that number 1 that I put on there. And here we go, guys. So I'm just letting it launch to its decided height. Same exact conditions. I think it's right around 60 degrees right now. All right, guys, that was slightly unusual. I don't know why it tried to go into return to home. It's supposed not to go into return to home if you're, you know, within around 50 feet of the drone. So maybe a little glitch. Maybe it thought the controller was farther away, but I just kind of fixed it, kind of get it back to the height it was here. And we're gonna let it do its own thing again. This is incredible. We'll let it land, and then there we go. So power off protection, that's what it does. Boy, I was recording for 36 minutes. Let me check the flight log. I'm gonna get this battery back on the charger, and we'll do like a full-on pros and cons assessment of that entire thing. We'll break it all down, give it like a final assessment. Okay guys, so I just put that battery on the charger and it is charging fine, like nothing is wrong with it. Wow, what the heck? One says, the first one was 33 minutes, the second one was 36 minutes. Unbelievable. So honestly, I got more flight time, 35:25 on that last flight. And that's how that plus battery is supposed to perform. Actually, it's supposed to get like 39 minutes. These were both plus batteries. The one that I just did, remember, was the one that was lost in the woods with it for close to 2 years. Went through 2 freezing winters at a dead battery. And it's flying longer than the battery that was not abused. This is just amazing to me. 35 and change on the abused lost battery and 32 and change on the non-abused battery. So you have lithium ion metal cylindrical cells, which are encased in like a steel casing, right? And it's using 2 of those high voltage. What other drones use are the lithium polymer. It's a very similar chemistry, but the lithium polymer are just those flat cells in like the soft bag, but of course DJI puts it in their plastic case. And those ones are, you know, 3 volts and below are gonna harm those. But what I forgot was the lithium ion hard cell, the cylindrical cells, they can actually drop down to like 2.5 volts before they really start getting picky. And apparently that's the case with this. Aside from the water damage, it looks like a little bit of superficial damage, this drone is perfectly fine. You saw it yourself. I mean, I flew this thing, I did the tracking, I did orbiting. The range was fine on it, just flying out there in the forest a little bit. This LED light does work. The sensors are keeping it locked on the ground. I am absolutely convinced that there is really nothing wrong with this drone or the battery. So honestly, I'm gonna keep that battery And what I want you guys to do is comment down below and let me know if you still think I should send this in because it has superficial damage on it. And just in case maybe there's some corrosion inside, who knows, that'll eventually kill it. I want you guys to tell me if you think I should just send this in and get like a price list and how much it would cost just to fix it. What they'll probably do is replace it and just send me a new one. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do that, and I will. And you saw how simple it was to fix the arm. You just gotta have some patience. We put 2 new arm joints in the front, which only cost me 13 bucks for a pack of 2. I will have the link for those down in the description if you want to try to repair stuff like this yourself and you're in that same situation with broken front arms. The rear are probably definitely more stronger. They don't seem to be affected at all from that fall from the tree or whatever happened out there. And that kind of confirms my thoughts on lithium ion batteries. They say there's no memory effect in them, but I honestly think that if you do exercise them a few times, all the way down, all the way up, you're gonna get the maximum usage out of them. And that kind of confirms what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This was an amazing test on this thing. We are almost done with this series, but I really want to know what you guys think about if I should just send this in. Tell me what you guys think down below. I had so much fun so far on doing this and showing you guys how this thing has performed after it's been lost and found. Just an amazing series of videos on this. Stay tuned to the channel, much more to come. I still have that Air 3S I crashed in a tree. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.